Hey guys, it's me, Kiana. Welcome back to my channel. As you can see from the title of this video, we are going to be doing my July TBR. I cannot believe that June is over. July is now here. I am halfway through my summer vacation. What have I been doing my summer vacation? Reading and working like always. So I have about 5 books here. Doesn't seem like it's a lot. 2 of them are pretty gigantic books, so we're going to start from the smallest and work our way up to the biggest. So let's go ahead and get started with this video. The first book I plan on reading in the month of July is a reread actually, and that is Every Heart a Doorway by Shauna McGuire. This is book 1 in Wayward Children series, and in this world, as it says, is Eleanor's West home for wayward children. No solicitations, no visitors, no quest. Children have always disappeared under the right conditions, slipping through the shadows under a bed or the back of a wardrobe, tumbling down rabbit holes and into old wells and emerging somewhere else. But magical lands have little need for used up miracle children. Nancy tumbled once, but now she's back. The things she's experienced, they change a person. The children under Miss West's care understand all too well, and each of them is seeking a way back to their own fantasy world. But Nancy's arrival marks a change at the home. There's a darkness just around each corner, and when tragedy strikes, it's up to Nancy and her newfound classmates to get the heart of things, no matter what the cause. The first time I read this, I want to say it was, when did this come out? This book came out in 2016. I want to say I read it 2017, so it's been about 2 years. I do want to see if I can remember everything that has happened, but I am looking forward to reading this. The second book I plan on reading is another reread, and that is Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller. And in this book, we follow a girl named Alosa, and she is the daughter of the Pirate King. And she basically sets herself up to get kidnapped by the people aboard the ship of Nightfarer so she can go and look for this map that her father needs. I read this last year in May, so I can move on to Daughter of the Siren Queen, which I just recently bought. And I absolutely loved it when I read it last year in May. So I believe it's time for a reread so I can finally move on to Daughter of the Siren Queen. The third book I plan on reading in the month of July. I am so happy I can finally move on to this so then I can buy the third book, and that is A Torch Against the Night by Sabbath Here. This is the second book in the Ember and the Ashes quartet. I want to say that there's 4 books. 3 books are currently out, and the 4th book comes out next year, I want to say. So, in this world, Elias is a soldier and Laia is a slave. And it says on the back, Elias and Laia are running for their lives. After the events of the 4th trial, Marshall's soldiers hunt the 2 fugitives as they flee the city of Sierra and undertake a perilous journey through the heart of the Empire. Laia is determined to break into Kuf, the Empire's most secure and dangerous prison, to save her brother, who is the key to the scholar's survival. And Elias is determined to help Laia succeed, even if it means giving up his last chance at freedom. But dark forces, human and otherworldly, work against Laia and Elias. The pair must fight every step of the way to outsmart their enemies, the bloodthirsty Emperor Marcus, the merciless commandant, the sadistic warden of Kuf, and the most heartbreaking of all, Helen, Elias' former friend and the Emperor's newest blood strike. Bound to Marcus's will, Helen faces a torturous mission of her own, one that might destroy her. Find the traitor Elias Vitoris and the scholar's slave who helped them escape and kill them both. I reread An Ember in the Ashes now twice. The first time I believe was in last August, and then I just reread it for the second time in June, and I'm really happy, so I can now move on to A Torch Against the Night. I am going to tab it up, much like I tabbed up An Ember in the Ashes, and I'm just really, really excited. So the 4th book I plan on reading is a reread because it's been so long since I finished this trilogy. And that is going to be A Quilt of Wings in Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. I did tab this up when I read it the first time. And this is the third book in the A Quilt of Wings and the Court of Thorns and Roses series. And in this series, we follow a girl named Farah Archon, who basically lives in this one-bedroom cottage with her 2 older sisters and her father. And she is basically the only one who knows how to hunt. And one day she goes into the woods and ends up killing a wolf who was a fae. And because of that, she then goes and lives with the High Lord of the Spring Court. That was book 1. Book 2 takes place 3 months after the event of Court of Thorns and Roses. Farah is now dealing with PTSD for what has happened under the mountain, and basically her trying to stop blaming herself, get in control with her new fae self. And in this 3rd book, we follow Farah, Rice, and all of them as they prepare for the war against King Qyburn. And I remember the first time I read this, it took me a week to read this, the first time I read this. When I got to the end and, what happened, I sat here and I cried. I ran down my stairs. My parents and my little sister were in the living room, and I was like, no. And my dad was like, someone died, didn't they? I just looked at him. I was like, my heart's broken. I cannot wait to reread this and absolutely fall in love with this world all over again. But yeah. And then the 5th and final book that I plan on reading in the month of July. I say that and I will most likely add books to my TBR because, I have no self-control. If I read this, I am now completely caught up with all the Shadowhunter books. So I plan on reading Ghost of the Shadow Market by Cassandra Clare, Sarah Reese Brennan, Maureen Johnson, Kelly Link, and Robin Wasserman. Basically, this is a collection of stories from the Shadow Market. What secrets does the Shadow Market hold? The Shadow Market is a meeting point for fairies, werewolves, warlock, and vampire. There, the downloaders buy and sell magical objects, make dark bargains, and whisper secrets they do not want the Nephilim to hear. The Nephilim to know. Through 2 centuries, however, there has been a frequent visitor to the Shadow Market from the City of Bones, the very heart of the Shadowhunter world. As silent brother Zachariah is a sworn keeper of the law and lord the Nephilim, but once he was a Shadowhunter called Jem Carstance, and his love, then and always, is the warlock Tessa Gray. And Jem is searching through the Shadow Market and many different cities over long years for a relic from the past. Follow Jem and see, against the backdrop of the Shadow Market's dark dealings and festivals, Anna Lightwood's doomed romance, Matthew Fairchild's greatest sin, and Tessa Gray as she is plunged into a world war. Valentine Morgenstern buys a soul at the market, and a young Jace Wayland's son finds safe harbor. In the market is hidden a lost heir and a beloved ghost, and no one can save you once you have traded away your heart, not even brother Zachariah. Me and Cassandra Clare's short stories have a love-to-hate relationship. I did not like The Bane Chronicles. I love Tales of the Shadowhunter Academy. And I hope I love Ghost of the Shadow Market. But we will tell. Maybe when I read this, I'll probably do a reading vlog. And every time I finish a book, I'll give you my spoilerly reviews. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I do not know yet if I'm going to tap this up, but if I do end up doing a reading vlog, like I said, you guys will be the first to know. But those are the 5 books I plan on reading in the month of July. I will be leaving here 2 videos I honestly feel you guys should go check out. I post Mondays and Thursdays. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys really, really soon with another video.